Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Mindy and I have now lost almost 120 pounds on Wegovy, Mounjaro, semaglutide compound, and I am now back on Wegovy again. If you're new here, welcome. On my channel, I normally talk about my weight loss journey. I give you food prep and meal prep ideas, share recipes, try and give you some tips to stay motivated on a weight loss journey that's probably going to take me the better part of 5 years. On today's video, I'm going to count down my top 5 tips to actually help you lose some weight. Now, these may not be groundbreaking. You've probably heard them all in one form or another, and it's definitely not designed to be a here's the miracle cure for your weight loss woes. So short story long, this is just some advice from your friendly neighborhood fat kid that finally figured out how to get it together. If that sounds like something you're interested in, then give this video a like and let's get into it. Tip number 5, start small. We've all done this. We've started a diet and we go from 0 to 1,000 in one day, and it goes okay for a while, and then we get burnt out and we just say screw it and drop the ball. This time around, I decided that I was just going to change one thing at a time. For my perfectionist OCD brain, that was very, very hard to do. It felt counterintuitive and wrong not to try and fix everything that was wrong with me all at once, which let's face it, that's just not possible. I knew I wasn't eating right, and I knew I needed to address my eating habits first. Weight loss happens in the kitchen, fitness happens in the gym. So I lost my first 65 pounds without doing any intentional exercise at all. You will hear a lot of people tell you, oh, exercise is so important. Cardio is so important. It's really not. If you know that your eating habits are not the best, I definitely would just start with fixing those first before you start trying to add in a bunch of physical activity that you're not doing and strength training and all of that other stuff. I mean, all of that is important, but the most important thing is getting your eating habits in check. Tip number 4, don't listen to the diet industry. I did a recent video that was basically just a massive rant on how listening to the diet industry kept me fat for years. Growing up, I remember watching my mom struggle with her weight for years. She sold Amway, she took Herbalife, she did Atkins, the cabbage diet, every other fad diet under the sun. So that was the culture that I grew up with in my house, was that all you have to do is find the magical product diet insert thing here that the diet industry is trying to sell you, whatever infomercial product you found that was for weight loss. My mom bought it and it didn't work. And so as a result of that, for decades, I bought the line the diet industry sold me was that to lose weight, I had to eat a certain way. No sugar, no carbs, no fat, no delicious. All of that added up to a recipe for quick short-term weight loss and zero likelihood of sustainability. Once it finally sunk in that really all I needed to do was moderate my intake, everything just kind of fell into place. It became really, really simple. As a fat kid, I always hated the term calories in, calories out. Eat less, move more. We've all heard it. We've all had it preached at us for our entire life. The reality is that there's truth behind all of that, but it's more complicated than just those words. Most of us have murdered our metabolism through decades of dieting and starving our bodies when all we really needed to do was learn how many calories were in things. French fries and ice cream aren't the devil. You just need to learn to enjoy them in ways that won't undermine your health goals. Tip number 3, acknowledge what got you here. I know that this one is not going to be popular with most people, but for me to make substantial changes that would stick, I had to first acknowledge all of the unhealthy habits that I had that got me to 365 pounds in the first place. That meant acknowledging that I'm a binge eater. I love food. I eat food for comfort. I eat when I'm bored. And I was also incredibly sedentary. When I wore my Fitbit in the beginning just to get an idea of a baseline of where I was on a daily basis without trying, there were many days where I didn't get much more than 1,000 steps a day. Until I acknowledged those things and stopped allowing myself to make excuses like, my metabolism is shot, I'm just big boned, I can't stay on a diet forever, I was unable to actually stick with anything long term. I knew that if I was going to lose weight and keep it off long term, that I was going to have to do it in a way that I could sustain for the rest of my life. That meant not cutting out all of my favorite foods, because I'm not going to go the rest of my life without eating carbs. I'm just not. That's not me. So instead, I just use higher protein, more macro friendly, lower calorie recipes to fit those foods into my lifestyle. I love sweets, so I make room for them in my weekly meal plan, and I find recipes that more closely align with my goals. Until I actually acknowledged all of those things and the fact that I had these unhealthy habits that were making and keeping me fat, I wasn't able to actually address them and accommodate them into my new, healthier lifestyle. Tip number 2, have a plan. I've said this before on my channel, and I love this saying as somebody who's an OCD perfectionist. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. I know that if I don't have a plan every week, that I will make any and every excuse under the sun to not cook dinner and to go out and eat, where I tend to get into the most trouble with eating too much. This looks different for everyone. I make a full meal plan for the entire week, every single week. I have a formula that I follow when I make my meal plan every week. I plan for one breakfast that I eat all week long. I plan for one lunch, or I eat leftovers from the prior week. And then I plan 2 different dinners that I make at the beginning of the week, and then we eat as leftovers throughout the week. I also plan for one dessert that I have during the week so that I know if I'm craving something sweet, I already have it available, and it's going to be a lower calorie, higher protein option so that I'm not blowing my diet on a candy bar. Now, I love looking at cooking and food content. I've been a foodie my entire life. My dad was a chef. Cooking was the way that we bonded with one another. And so as a result, I have always loved to cook and watch cooking. I do it a lot in my free time. And every time I find something that sparks some interest or some inspiration, I save it to a future meal plan so that I can come back and look at it later. And it makes that meal planning process a little faster and easier. Mostly with my meal plans, and you guys have heard me talk about it a million times, I use Macro Friendly Food. Macro Friendly Food is an app that has over 800 high protein, macro balanced, lower calorie recipes. It has a meal planning and a grocery shopping feature, but mostly I just use it to find recipes that look delicious. They're no specialty ingredients, relatively quick and easy to throw together. My husband is extremely picky and he loves pretty much everything that I've made from there. So if you guys are interested in checking that out, I always have a link down in the description along with the discount code that'll get you 10% off your first month. If you don't want to sign up for a monthly subscription, although I will say I get the 3-month subscription and it only comes out to about $10 a month, even without the discount. You can purchase her cookbook that you can use my discount for, and that will get you, I think it's like 100 of her recipes so that you can kind of dip your toe in the water. If you're not wanting to spend any money at all, I also have links to her Instagram where she has a ton of free recipes posted as well. That was how I ultimately decided to get the subscription service. I used a bunch of her free recipes on her Instagram, and honestly, after about 3 or 4, I was like, okay, I'm hooked. I get it. And I've been using it on a weekly basis ever since, and it's been over a year. If you're somebody who just doesn't even have any clue where to start with meal planning, I do have a couple of meal planning videos on my channel that I will link. Also, as one of the perks through my Buy Me a Coffee membership, I do send out my weekly meal plan to all of my members that you can use, along with links to all of the recipes that I use and free alternatives for the macro-friendly food recipes that I use. So if that's something that's of interest to you and you're interested in supporting my content on a monthly basis, feel free to check out the link down in the description to my Buy Me a Coffee page, and you can just get your weekly meal plans from me. Most importantly, and I kind of talked about this already, whatever you do, whatever kind of a plan you put in place, whatever kind of a plan you intend to follow or diet you intend to follow, it needs to be something that you can do forever. This can't be a temporary fix. You can't be of the mindset of, I'm going to do this until I lose the weight and then. No. It needs to be something that you're practicing so that you can be putting those healthy habits into place now. I hear things all the time like, I keep doing keto because it's the only thing that works. But does it actually work if you can only stick to it for a couple of months? If that's you and that's been the cycle that you've been trapped in, where you've been doing insert diet here because it works, but you can only stick with it for a certain period of time because it's so restrictive, then I have news for you. It doesn't work. Try something that you can keep up long term. It may mean that the weight loss takes longer, but how much time have you wasted trying to lose the weight quickly and packing it all back on just to start over and over and over again? For me, it was over 30 years. And my number one tip to lose weight that actually works is to be consistent. The biggest thing that changed this time around for me has been consistency. It is the one thing that has definitely seen me through to where I am right now. I have now been on this weight loss journey for 2.25 years. That's 28 months of weight loss. And I still have a long way to go. Have I done it perfectly every week? Absolutely not. I've taken diet breaks. I've fallen completely off the wagon a time or two. But what was different this time was that I actually kept coming back. A big part of that coming back and continuing to move on has been giving myself a lot of grace. I have over 40 years of terrible eating and food habits that I'm working against here. And that's not going to get fixed with even 2 years of consistent dieting. This is something that I'm probably going to have to battle for the rest of my life. There's a scene from one of my absolute favorite movies of all time, The Equalizer, where Denzel is talking to one of his coworkers who he's helping encourage to lose weight. And the guy is telling him about this healthy sandwich that he made for lunch. And then he takes a bite into it and there is this like unnatural crunching sound. And he opens it up and he had stashed some potato chips inside the sandwich. Now, first of all, I don't see anything wrong with that as long as you've planned for the calories. But instead of Denzel shaming him for making this horribly unhealthy choice, his advice to him was progress, not perfection. And that's kind of become my motto on this channel. That resonated so deeply with me because I am a perfectionist and I have had that mindset of, well, I screwed up. I may as well just give up. I'm not going to be able to do it perfectly. I'm a loser. I'm a failure. I'm an insert terrible thing about myself here. I think this time around, I've just kind of clung to that progress, not perfection. I have made so much progress and I haven't let the little pitfalls and the slip-ups been the thing that derails me from continuing to make that progress. As a perfectionist, nothing really clicked until I was able to cling firmly onto that premise of progress, not perfection. Anyway, I hope those 5 tips really resonate with you guys. Obviously, there is no magical food, miracle pill, miracle shot even. One glance at a support group for these GLP-1 meds will show you that it's not just as simple as giving yourself a shot and the weight just melts off. You still have to do a lot of work to lose weight on these meds. If I was not doing all of the things I'm doing to change my healthy habits, there's no way that I would be almost 120 pounds lighter right now. And there's no way that I would still even be on this journey given how slow my progress was last year. Stop looking for the miracle cure. Realize that it's just going to take time. Give yourself grace and be consistent. I know that I owe you guys an update on my cut, and I promise it's coming. Next week, I'll be doing a 4-week update, and I'm so excited to share with you guys how it's been going for me. It's been a really, really good couple of weeks, even with me getting sick again. Anyway, as I said, I know that these tips are nothing groundbreaking, but hopefully you heard something that resonated with you, or maybe that you haven't thought of or tried yet. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.
We're on a journey, looking back on the things that we've taken for granted, but feels like we're learning to be better.